Hi everyone, my name is Amber and today we're going to be talking about my reading, personal and booktubing / book blogging goals for 2020. I did do this same video for 2019 and I was going to do kind of a reaction video to that, but I'm not entirely sure I want to do it now because I feel like I've failed on most of them and I want to go into the new year more motivated than that video will probably leave me feeling. So I'm just going to focus on 2020, we're looking ahead here. And the first few goals I'm going to talk about are my reading goals. For the past few years I've set my Goodreads goal super low because I don't want to pressure myself, and it's worked out really well. I've set my goal, or I will set my goal to 5 books again, like I do every year, because that means that I'm not pressuring myself to read X amount of books each year. This year I have read 140 or so books in 2019, and that's the most I've read in probably 3 or 4 years. It's the most I've ever read since I've been tracking my reading, but it's more than double what I was reading a couple of years ago. So for 2020 I'm going to set my Goodreads goal low again so I won't feel pressured, and I'll feel good once I've accomplished 5 books in January. I've decided that I'm going to take part in the Beat the Backlist challenge for 2020. I will leave information on that in the description box below. For the past few years I haven't really been taking part in reading challenges, but I thought this one would be a good one for me because I have been trying to reduce my physical TBR for the longest time, and I think in 2019 I only reduced it by 20 books, if that, and in 2020 I want to do better. I don't know how many books I currently have sitting on my shelves that I haven't read. I will count and I'll put the number on screen. It's probably something really embarrassing. So in 2020 I'm determined to get that number down while also reading new releases and review copies. So this is going to be a major challenge for me. So I joined in with Beat the Backlist in an attempt to have the community motivate me and cheer me on, and I can sort of get involved with other people. You can all see how the others are doing and it should hopefully be great. Kind of in relation to this, I also want to keep on top of my review copies. I'm doing my ARC check-in posts every month, or I hope every month. I started doing that in December and I hope to continue on throughout the year so I can share which review copies I've obtained and how many I read, and so you can check out my NetGalley and EW percentages, and hopefully it should motivate me to keep on top of those. I have to say that so far for January I'm doing a really good job. I'm mostly on top of things. I've only got a few more releases left to read. They are the most popular releases, so that's probably the reason I'm putting them off, because I don't like giving in to hype. And ideally for 2020 I would like to be reading review copies a month ahead of their release dates. However, this is going to be a struggle because I don't always receive the review copies a month in advance. Sometimes it's only a week or two, or sometimes it's after the release date. So that's not a strict rule, but I would like to keep on top of my review copies as much as I can. Also in 2020 I would like to do more buddy reads. So I did quite a few in 2019. I can't remember if it was one of my goals or not, but I am so glad that I did start doing that because I have so much fun buddy reading. A few of them did fail. Sometimes it was my own fault and sometimes it was just we just couldn't get into the book. In 2020 I would like to continue doing that. I already have quite a few lined up for January and a couple for February. If you're interested in doing any buddy reads with me, do let me know in either this video or on Twitter, wherever. You can contact me however you like. I just find them really enjoyable, so I'm looking forward to doing more of those in 2020. Okay, so on to my booktubing and book blogging goals for 2020. First one I want to do is to post twice a week on both my booktube channel and on my blog. I should be able to handle this. It seems quite achievable, especially if one of those 2 posts on each is kind of more of a low-key post, like a meme or a feature or something, and they won't require too much effort. I do have a lot of stuff planned for the beginning of the year, so I think I'm sorted for January, and I will definitely be posting more than twice a week over the next few weeks. It's just I definitely won't be able to keep that up throughout the year, so I think twice a week on both platforms should be achievable. If I'm being really ambitious, I would also like to do that on Instagram, but more on that later. My Instagram game is not as strong as I would like it to be. My second goal is to get a grip on my routine, because since moving house at the end of September in 2019 I have kind of fallen out of my routine in so many ways. The commute is longer, my hours have changed slightly, Quill's routine has changed, which has then affected mine. I'm hoping in January to get a handle on it and figure out when I can record videos, if there needs to be like a set time that I put aside to do that, and when I'll have time to write posts and edit things and everything like that that goes into having a book blog and a booktube channel. I just really need to figure this out because it stresses me out when I leave things to the last minute and then I have to get a blog post and a booktube video up in one evening, and that takes a couple of hours for me. So it's not really something that I can carry on doing if I'm going to be posting as often as I would like. Another thing I would really like to start doing on both my Booktube channel and my book blog is post more reviews. In terms of Booktube specifically, I know that reviews they're kind of the most long-lasting of the videos. A January TBR, for example, no one's going to watch that in June, but people will keep coming back or discovering your channel if you post a review of a book, because people are always going to be reading that book. I really enjoy doing book reviews, and it's the reason that I started this channel and my book blog in the first place. It was so that I could talk about the books that I'm reading, and I feel like in a wrap-up I can't really do that as much as I would like. I can't go into the level of detail that I would like to, so I want to start trying to do more reviews. They do take a lot more effort because it's a lot easier to say a couple of sentences about one book in a wrap-up than doing a whole 10-minute video on that same book. I'm going to work hard on this because it is something that I really want to do, and it's the same for my book blog, although my reviews on my book blog get the lowest amount of engagement and views, but it's just something I really enjoy doing. And then also I have to write the reviews for NetGalley and Goodreads anyway, so I might as well post a review on my blog. This is definitely going to take a lot more energy for me, but hopefully in the long run it will be worthwhile. Hopefully more people will discover my channel through my reviews, and it would just be nice to be able to talk to people who have also read the book or who are interested in it in a more in-depth way. Something else I would like to do better in 2020 is marketing and promoting my websites and my Booktube channel. So I feel like I've got Twitter pretty much down. I've got quite a few followers on there and the engagement is quite high. However, there are some websites that I feel I could do better on, and it might help. Not that I'm really doing this for the statistics, but it's still nice to see growth, otherwise the channel stagnates, it gets a bit boring. One of the things I want to play around with is Pinterest, again, specifically for recap tins. I'm not too bothered about promoting my YouTube channel or book blog on Pinterest, but recap tins I think it would be worthwhile. I'm just really not very good at Pinterest, so if you have any tips for me on that, then please let me know in the comments below, because I am honestly awful at it. I keep getting into it and then doing it for a week and then giving up again. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I would also like to do more on Bookstagram, because I post kind of irregularly on there, but when I do post I do get quite a lot of engagement, which is good. I think I have 960 something followers on there. To get that above 1,000 I think I need to post more regularly and engage more, and I'm terrible at doing that, partly because the app doesn't like to load on my phone, but also because taking photos and editing them takes a lot of energy, and I'm not very well versed in editing photos, which again I'll get into in a moment. So I'd like to do a bit more on Instagram, which is also going to take up a lot of my time, but once I get the routine down, hopefully I can incorporate Instagram and Pinterest a bit more and do a bit more on those two platforms. I think I'd also like to try to figure out the YouTube Premiere feature. I've only watched a couple of live premieres, whatever you call them, on Booktube, but maybe that's something I could try to incorporate in my channel a bit more if I've got, I don't know, a long expected post or something, I don't know. That's just something I have in mind for the future. And then lastly, for my bookish goals, I would really like to get better at doing graphics for Booktube and for my blog. I feel like I've come a long way since 2010 when I first started. I really wasn't very good. Paying for PicMonkey and messing around on that site, I've gotten a lot better, I think. I would just like to continue practicing and getting better and incorporating graphics a lot more in my videos, because I think they add an extra layer and they keep people engaged and interested, whereas me just sitting here with a, you know, sitting on a chair isn't necessarily the most interesting video. So I think incorporating graphics into this type of video would be beneficial. And then finally, the last two goals for me for 2020 are personal goals. They're both very simple, so I don't really need to spend too long on those. The first one is that I want to continue saving X amount per month. I don't really know if I should say what that amount of money per month is, in case it comes across as bragging, because it is quite a lot of money. Quinn and I are expecting or hoping to buy a house in a couple of years, and I need to keep saving for that. We have enough for the deposit now, but I don't have enough for any more savings, so the deposit would be all of my savings, and I want an emergency fund as a backup. We're not ready to buy just yet, but I want to continue saving at a high rate so that we will be ready in a couple of years. Houses here in the UK are super expensive and it's really freaking annoying, so we've got quite a long way to go, but it does feel good knowing that we've got the deposit there already. And then lastly, I want to keep up my fitness routine, because I've been really into the gym in the past couple of years, but also particularly since moving house, because the gym is only a 5-minute walk away from our house, which is really handy, especially if I'm not feeling very motivated. It's just with the changing commute and being really busy at the weekends, it's been quite difficult to get to the gym sometimes. So now that it's all settling down, in January. I would like to keep the fitness going, get into a proper routine, and hopefully not skip any sessions, because I do really enjoy being at the gym once I'm there. It's just working myself up to it, especially because I get quite anxious about the gym because there are so many people there, and the only time I can go during the week is at what is basically rush hour at the gym. So there are so many people, I get a bit funny about it, but I'm working on it. I'm doing a lot better than I was before, so hopefully I can keep doing well in 2020. Those are all my goals and resolutions, I guess, for 2020. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. If you've done a video on this as well, do let me know, because I love watching these videos at the beginning of every year. They're so much fun to watch and also really inspirational. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all in my next video. Bye!